lots of details and go a little bit further and summarize things. Finally arrived the Russian army. The Russians liberated the camp. They took us back to Budapest, delivering us to the International Red Cross. The International Red Cross at that time was operating in Budapest. Soon enough, they have received orders from the Hungarian government that in 6 months send the children to the rural families, because in 6 months everybody will be dead in this country. Because the men, they are on the Russian front, they are prisoners or they are dead, there are nobody cultivating the land, there will not be enough bread, there won't be anything to eat. So Red Cross send the children to the rural families out. So they send me about, how much? About 200 miles from Budapest to the north, near the Romanian border. I ended up in a pig farm. Mother, who was liberated in April in Germany, near Berlin, Spandau, the name of the camp, liberated, and she haven't had at that time. Europe was totally devastated. There were no railways, there were no buses, there were no taxis, there were no cars. So the only possibility to her to find me is to walking back a distance of approximately from the Canadian border down to Florida. And in 6 months she arrived to Budapest. She started looking for me, she couldn't find me. She went through a lot of complicated things that I described in my memories, but finally ended up at the Red Cross. Red Cross, where is my child? Where is my son? Where is my child? And madam, calm down. We are in war. We don't have paper, we don't have pencils, we don't have pens, we don't have records, we don't have the vaguest idea where is your child. Find him if you want to. That was the Red Cross answer. So my mother, what she did, she went back to the house, and in the house, what she had found, that the roof, the attic, the 5th floor, the 4th floor, all was in our apartment. Bombarded the whole house. There was a ground zero Budapest. Looted completely the apartment, but she found what she was looking for, a picture of mine. And she started going from one village to the other, first to the priest, asking, did you see this child? No. Then to the teachers, did you see this child? No. It took her a year and a half or more. 183 villages. When she arrived to this pig farm, and she went, there wasn't a priest because it was a very small place. There was only the teacher. Went to the teacher, did you see this child? No, we did not. Okay, but the teacher was intelligent enough, said, you know what, let me show this to the children. A few minutes later, a young girl, about 8 years old, came back. I know him, I know him, I know him. My mother, oh yeah? Yeah, he's my brother, Geza. My mother said, who? My brother, Geza. My mother said, wait a minute, what's it? Anna. Anna, if your brother is, and his name is Geza, he is not my son. Oh, yeah, sorry. And she walked away. Now, again, one of the miracles that happened to me. Anna received the message, probably, because Anna came back and started mumbling, and said, you know, madam, he is not my real brother. You know, we adopted him about 2 years ago. He is actually, and his name was so terrible to pronounce. My father gave him our family name. This is, now he's Geza Babai. And my mother had the light turned on and said, Anna, show me your brother. So Anna took my mother to the house, but I wasn't there because my chore in that period was to bring the pigs to the marsh. So arrived one, Geza. I said, what's the excitement? Well, your mother wants you. No, I said, my mother doesn't want me because she knows that at sunrise I take the pigs, at sunset I bring them home. No, not that mother, the other mother. I said, how many mothers somebody can have? At the Red Cross they told that my mother was dead. So I told that I was an orphan. No, there is a woman there who says that she is your mother. Go home, sure enough. My mother was sitting in a chair in front of the house. I wouldn't tell you the commotion, that joy, everybody crying. And I was by then a very good farmer boy. I had to blow my nose. What do you think I did? And then I blew my nose on the floor. My mother, oh my God. Ah, if your father would see you now, what would happen to you? Now, she took me back to Budapest because I was 10 years old and I still couldn't read and write. And now comes another, it's useless that you go, Prabhupada. Let me talk 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes because I have a message for these ladies and gentlemen here. And the message is the following. My mother, on the list of my mother, education was #1. And she said, well, she went to an elementary school and hired a teacher to teach me to read and write. It was, he came and said, listen, he has to make 4 classes, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. These 4 grades, I will make him in 2 years. And in the 5th grade, he will be able to go to the public school with the other children. My mother said, okay. So, September, December, grade 1, examine and promotion. January, June, grade 2, examine, promotion. And so, September, December, grade 3, and January, June, grade 4, the 5th grade, you go already to the school. I was promoted the 1st grade, I was promoted the 2nd grade, and they were missing maybe 3 weeks from the exam and promotion of grade 3. When I arrived home at evening, all bloody here, blood here, all the arms, and my mother said, oh, how many times I have to tell you that you don't fight with your muscles, with your body, you fight with your brain. With the brain is your weapon, not your blood. Who the hell reduced you this way? I said, the teacher. And I said, who? The teacher. Yeah, because you know, he had this long bamboo stick in his hand. He was hitting me on the face of my head, of my body, everywhere, shouting that I am not going to ruin his reputation. I am 3 weeks from the exam, and I arrived to the lesson without preparing my homework. But my mother, wait a moment. You mean that you are 3 weeks from your exam? Yes. And you did not prepare your homework? No. What did you do? I went to the ice rink. I want to become a skater. And you mean for this the teacher beat you up this way? Yeah. No, she said, tomorrow I take care of this speech, teacher. You wouldn't believe what she did. Next day, she sent to the teacher a royal big bouquet of flowers with a note. Thank you for disciplining my son. This was my mother's focus, determination to make somebody out of me. Now I show you what she did and then I conclude. When I finished high school, she took a chalk and made a long line on the, you don't see from there, do you? No, then I will show you here. She made a long sign like this on the wall of the house. And she said, no, 18, you are 18 here. You see me? No. You are 24 here, 6 years later. You will be 24. And here, if God wants, you will be 80 years old. Now, again, son, listen to me and listen good. From 18 to 24, there are 6 years. In these 6 years, you have two choices. Choice number one, you can go to the ice rink, you can go to the movies, you can play with your friends, you can chase girls, and you can be a happy man for 6 years. Alternative, choice number two, you don't go to the ice rink, you don't play with your friends, you don't chase girls, you will be absolutely miserable, but you will put your butt on the chair and you are studying. Why? Because in case one, from 18 to 24, 6 years, if you are happy, I guarantee that for the rest of your life, you will be miserable. And you will be exposed as an uneducated bum to everybody who wants to take advantage of you. And you will have to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, no, yeah, and you will be a nobody. In the other case, you make 6 years miserable life studying, and after that, you will be the boss. You will tell the others what to do. You will command them, and nobody will ever tell you what to do. You will be happy for the rest of your life, and I can guarantee. And you're absolutely right. She was right. By the age of 27, I became the youngest corporate executive of an American company subsidiary in Italy. And the rest, I lived my life as a king. I had a doctorate degree in science of engineering, and I was living an extraordinary good life. Thank you for listening. She would like to say if somebody has a question.
Okay, if you guys have questions, there we go. I will bring the mic to you, and he will answer questions for about the next 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so questions?
There is a question there.
Whatever happened to your father?
What was the question?
Whatever happened to your father?
Whatever happened to my father? My father, at the end of the war, assumed that we both were dead, which was a legitimate assumption. And he, being a director of orchestra, being a handsome man, having to do with many beautiful ballerinas, he had no problems. He did not chase the ballerinas. The ballerinas chased him. And therefore, he changed one woman after the other. And finally, after many years, he got married. But for a long period of time, he was just passing from one woman to the other. Then, in 1956, because I was living then in the communist period, behind the Iron Curtain, and for me it was worse than the Nazism, because they tortured me, they put me in jail, they did everything because I did not want to renounce of my Italian citizenship and take the Hungarian citizenship. So the communists did everything which was in their power to convince me to, with the goods, with the bad manners, to take the Hungarian citizenship. They did not succeed. In 1956, I succeeded to go to Italy, and then I was reunited with my father. I started university in Napoli, and we had a very good relationship with my father.
Another question.
Okay, here is a couple of ladies who have another question.
What food were you forced to eat at the camps?
What food would you eat at the camps?
Thank you. What? To me, in our camp, where they took me, and well, there wasn't much food, but I tell you something. What we ate was mainly from the orchard, and they were vegetables, but that was the kind that I ate, and that was excellent, and that was very good until October. In October, November, December, there was snow, there was nothing to eat, and that is where children were dying. We had absolutely zero. Very good. I show you something what I ate one day. I got out of the camp and I was walking, looking for some food, when I have seen these beautiful green bushes with those red berries. What did I do? I took off this berry and put in my own. It was so bad. It was sour, it was but what you can do, when you are dying, I by the hand, like this, I ate these berries. And what was the result? I learned also only in high school, 10 years later, what was the result. The result was that I was eating rose hips, and the rose hips is loaded with vitamin C, and therefore I never get scurvy, and I have still today my own teeth in my mouth. Miracle or coincidence?
When did you come to America?
When did you come to the United States?
Oh, you are asking a question that makes me extremely emotional. I tell you the reason why. Because in all my life, by government officers, I was treated, terrible. And they just humiliated me. And nobody ever treated me as a human being. Then I arrived to the United States because I was literally imported. An American company asked and wanted Caesar Crustacci in the United States. This company was in State College, Pennsylvania, where Penn State University is. A few weeks later, I received a letter from the INS. I don't know what, you know what is the INS, but that is the organization of the Justice Department that organizes the foreigners and look after the foreigners in this country. The internal naturalization service. And I had a certain day at 10 o'clock be in Philadelphia. I arrived to Philadelphia with my 2 daughters and my wife. And here is where comes again, one of those situations that there were a room with chairs and numbers to take, and there were 5 or 6 windows, and they were calling the individuals to the windows according to the number. They were all foreigners. A certain moment I hear, Crustacci, I said, I am here. The director wants to talk to you. I said, oh, wait. Now it's here again the trouble. I arrived to the threshold of the door. He stood up from his desk. He came, he shook my hands. Oh, strange. Okay. Then he sat down again behind his desk. There were 4 chairs for me, for my wife, and my 2 children behind. And he said, you know, I have here in front of me your resume and the story of your life. He said, you know, you are less than 1% of the foreigners who wants to come to this country, not by necessity, but by choice, because choose to come here. And you came here not to take, but to give. I was overpowered by these words. And then he pulled the drawer. Here is your green card. On behalf of the United States government, I welcome you. And he gave me the green card. And he said, you know, after 5 years and 1 day, according to the law, if you will make us the honor to become an American citizen, we would be very pleased. Thank you for becoming an American resident. That was the way I arrived at this country. Beautiful. And it's very important, especially for you, particularly for you in this age, to this generation. With all the problems that this country has, and it has many, it's still the best country in the world. I signed a 2-year contract in 1981. After 33 years, we are still here, and we are happy to be here. This country has a lot of problems, but it's still the best non-existing any other country in the world. I worked in everywhere, including the Soviet Union, in China, in Australia. I speak 6 languages, and I wasn't just tourist. I worked with people. I learned the culture of the various nations. This is still the best, but has a fundamental problem now, today, that after World War II, this country become a rich country, good life. And what good life did to the Americans is to sit down and relax and slow down. Slow down. Today there are nations all over the world who are trying to passing by America. They are fast. The Americans, unfortunately, I have analyzed and I learned that the generation before, after you, or no, before you, they are very slow. My God, I am driving like this on a long road, visibility 100%. I am half a mile from a driveway where somebody wants to get off and sitting there. And then when I arrive 100 feet, it pulls out in front of me. Why? And I tell you why. Because it takes time to understand in the head that what is going on. It's not fast thinker. In Italy, you are at the red light, with a car, you know, and what's happening? You don't look your light, you look the other light. And when the other light is from red, is yellow, you already start going. Now what happens here? You are at the red light, it becomes green, and you stay there 1, 2, 3, I count, sometimes 5 seconds before the driver realizes in the mind that from red it became green. Yeah, and that's true. Have to wake up. And it's essential to be a little bit think and be a little bit faster. Because I do not want that any other country in the world would come in front of the United States. This is the best country, and you are blessed to live in this country, but you have to work to become and maintain this country #1. And this is why you have to be fast, waking up. Thank you for listening.
But I do want to point out, he has written 2 books. One of them will be donated to our library, and both of them will be donated to the library. But there will be an opportunity, should someone want to buy it. I will be taking names tomorrow, and then I will be getting them to Caesar so that the books can be ordered. The blue one is...
Well, that is for the library.
Yes.
That's a donation of
Yes,
mine.
thank you.
I am going to sign this for the library.
Perfect.
And let me complete what you have said, if you allow me.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm
What
done.
happens is that there was here, this book came out last week. There was here about 150 of them. In 2 days it's gone. It's gone faster than whatever we were thinking. And we don't have it anymore, but I ordered more of them. It's coming here in Cedar Rapids in about a week or 10 days. We are taking names and reservation for the book, because what I will do, although I am leaving after tomorrow, I bought 250 stickers of about this size. And if I have the list, I will write down the name of the person and sign it. So dedicate to the buyer. And then when the books arrive, it will be sticked on the back page of the book. So you will have a signed book. That is what I wish to tell. This one here is a very interesting book, but it would take another 10 minutes to tell you what is about. This is far more complete because this is I wrote. This is I wrote, and for that writer I supplied all the information. The end result is that it's an extraordinarily good book, but 80% of my mother, and where I am, nowhere. So my wife said 2 years ago, Caesar, you must be completely crazy. You offer information to Jermaine, the writer, to write a book, and you are a minimal part of it. You offer to Mario in Italy information in occasion that they inaugurated the street of the name of my father, an avenue, and I had to go there and pull the red drape and the inaugural. So this interviewed me and wrote a letter about my father, wrote a book about my father. And again, where I am, nowhere. So my wife said, you must be absolutely crazy. You supply information right, left, and that nobody writes you. Sit down and write your own story. And this is the result.
And so if you're interested, you'll sign your name on this sheet here, okay, and then you can bring the money to me, and then I will get it to wherever the books are, okay? So if you are interested in that, please come up and put the information that you need for that, okay? And then you can find me in C246, okay? Let's give them a great hand again. You guys have 5 minutes left, but just keep the noise level down and kind of hang out. You did a good job. Thank you. Where is the other picture that was